Unbelievable comeback here. And they're still coming, Saracens. Mackenzie Carson, the hooker. Mackenzie Carson, what a run from her. Oh, and she's still going. Gives it to Lottie Clapp, who's strong in the tackle as well. Back to Carson. Marley Packer is there. Oh, it's brilliant. Sensational score for Saracens.
Hey rugby fans, thank you very much for pressing play on this season 2 episode 10 of the Women's Rugby Show. I'm Adam Zolty and it gives me great pleasure to welcome our first ever international signing. Please welcome our new presenter to the team all the way from New Zealand, Megan Stevens.
Thanks.
How does it feel to be part of the team?
Oh, it's great. I'm so excited to be here today.
And what a match you've chosen to make your debut.
Oh yeah, this is a biggie.
How would you describe it for our viewers?
Well, you know how in almost every movie there's always a main character and an antagonist, someone there to thwart the hero at every turn? Think Harry Potter and Voldemort, Katie Heron and Regina George, Batman and the Joker. Well, in women's rugby terms, there are 2 teams that are the perfect embodiment of this: Saracens Women and Harlequins Women.
Since the inception of the Tyrrell's Premier 15s, these 2 teams have been blowing sides apart left, right and centre, whoever they play, and trying to match each other blow for blow. Now usually it's Saracens who are the top dogs, because every time they've played their opponents, mostly they've come out as winners. But crucially, never has that been more prominent than in the final each time when they've won the title.
However, this season there's been a changing of the guard. Although Saracens have won all of their games so far, it's Quins that have grabbed the headlines, brushing teams aside like they're playing under 9s each week.
And that means this match today here at the Twickenham Stoop could mean that finally it's a chance for Joker to get one over on Batman.
Or Dr. Evil one over on Austin Powers.
Good one. Wait, what made you think of that?
Don't know.
Okay, so Megan, seeing as you are the rookie on today's show, I want you to tell me why you think Quins will win this match.
All right, gladly. Get ready for a quick pass of knowledge your way, Adam.
Nice.
So, firstly, Saracens have only ever lost to 2 teams in the history of the Premier 15s, Wasps Ladies and Harlequins Women. But they've only lost to one of those teams more than once, and that is their opponents today. You could say Harlequins are Saracens' bogey team.
No, fair enough, that is a good point. But what I will say is that Saracens, whenever they have lost a game, it's only been by a maximum of 5 points. That suggests to me that any side that does beat them has to be at their best to do so. Also, if you're comparing Saracens this season to last season, there's been a lot of talk that they're really not the same side. However, if we look at the stats, last year after the first 8 games, they only conceded 88 points. That's just 11 a game. This season, they've only conceded 92, so that's only a couple more, which says to me that Quins are going to be at their absolute best today if they want to beat Saracens.
Okay, great point. So, how do Quins triumph? Well, everyone's going to be looking at the scrums, and they will be colossal. But actually, it may be the lineouts that prove more crucial. Saracens may be the only team that can match Quins blow for blow in the tight set piece, but when it comes to the lineouts, the home team have one of the best throwers in Amy Cockaine and 2 of the best aerial battlers in the league in Sarah Beckett and Thea Fletcher, who, by the way, has had an incredible season so far.
Absolutely.
So if we take a look at the Saris, do they have that same threat level there? It's good, but is it as good? If I were talking to the Quins, I'd be saying kick for the corner and see if you can beat Saris at their catch and drive game.
No, some very good points there, Megan. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at that 10-12 partnership. Both of these clubs have got very similar dilemmas in that they're trying to fit too many top quality players into not enough positions. So for Saris, take Lisa Martin and Zoe Harrison, 2 international fly halves that are both vying for that number 10 spot. Problem is, you're not going to be able to fit them both in, and whoever loses out is going to partner Hannah Casey at centre. In this instance, it's Lisa Martin, but she's Saracens' top scorer this season, so it's a bit of a gamble. For Quins, it's almost exactly the same. For Harrison and Martin, look at Scott and Green. But they've got the added difficulty of whoever loses out there, they're going to have to battle with Rachel Burford, the Red Rose World Cup winning centre, for that number 12 spot. In this instance, it's Ellie Green who misses out. She's not even in the starting 15, and she is the top scorer of the Tills Premier 15s. So it's a bit of a risk for both sides, but whoever gets it right, well, they could be walking away today as victors. If not, well, it could be their Achilles heel.
Okay, last chance to get Quins over, and I might be leaning a little bit on Kirsty's point from last week, but the Harlequins scoring stats are insane. This season, they've had 23 players that have scored at least one meat pie for the women in the quarters. That's a whole match day squad of try scorers. Saracens, however, have had 17, almost a pack less. Also, their second highest scorer is none other than the legend that is Rocky Clark, who started half her games as sub. So, question for the visitors is, where are those tries going to come from?
All right, fine, Megan. You do make a very good point, but I'm going to finish on this. Let's look at the last two matches these two sides played against each other. In the league, well, Quins had a chance to beat Saracens at Allianz Park last season, but they blew it, conceding a try in the dying moments. And in the TP finals last year, they didn't even turn up for the first 40 minutes. So the question is, do they have the mental fortitude to get one over on their opponents today? If Saracens win, well, they could be sitting top of the tree come the new year. And when I say tree, I mean the league.
All right, Adam, so who has it for you today?
Well, it is a tricky one, and I'll be honest, I've been umming and ahhing over this for the last week or so. But for me, there is only going to be one winner today, and that is Saracens. Quins just cannot get it in their head to beat the women in black, and I think today is going to be no different. What about you?
Okay, I hear you, but for me, it has to be Quins. I think the diversity in their skill set and the unpredictability of where a try could come from are really strong, and partnered with if they hit that head-on game of catch and drive, the likeliness of them winning increases. Plus, they've done it twice before, and there's nothing quite like backing a team on their home turf, right? But only time in the next 80 minutes will tell.
It's the biggest game of the season so far, and Karen Findlay and Gary Street have almost a full-strength squad of riches to choose from. They've decided to replace Tova Vixton with Jill Bork in the front row, whilst the other two positions there remain the same. A massive loss to the side is Abby Scott at lock, so usual back rower Sarah Beckett steps in instead. That allows Quins' all-star back row to all start together at the Stoop for the first time since the opening fixture against Richmond, and we know that Caplice, Franco and Conkle will be a threat today. There are two changes to the backs from last week's win against Wasps. Rachel Burford starts at 12, whilst Lucy Packer is given the nod at scrum half because Leanne Riley is injured. As we said, TP15's top point scorer Ellie Green is on the bench.
Similarly to their opponents, Saracens Women have made minor changes, with Alex Osterbury keen to start his strongest 15 available. That means Marley Packer returns for their version of an all-star back row, featuring her, Vicky Fleetwood and Poppy Cleal. Sadly for Kat Evans, she's now on the bench. Also in the pack, Canadian sensation Mackenzie Carson replaces May Campbell, and Rocky Clark makes way for Jeannie Layla. As in the game against DMP, it's Harrison and Martin in the 10-12 positions, and Sarah McKenna returns at 15. Meaning Lottie Clapp starts her 50th cap as captain in her favoured wing position. Georgie Lingham is the player replaced. And now we're joined by Johnny Hammond on the mic as these two teams are ready for action.
Harlequins hitting their stride nice and early here. Shauna Brown is digging around. Shauna Brown using that power that we know she has. First try for Harlequins. What a start. Lucy Packer sets up another attack. Emily Scott dabs it through. It's neat for Rachel Burford. They double their lead, Harlequins. Emily Scott with a nudge through for the try and the nudge through for the conversion. Just too many penalties for Saracens. Poppy Cleal yellow. Another attack from Harlequins. This time it's Annika, please. Third try already. Great hands from Scott, from Burford. Rolly, Chloe Rolly. Oh, what searing pace from Chloe Rolly. It's a wonder score from the Harlequins fullback. Right in front of the stick, should be no problem at all. 24-0 already to Harlequins. Dying embers of this first half. Saracens looking for something. They've been second best majority of this first half. Marley Packer stepping, and she's got one. How crucial could that be? Lisa Martin, great season with the boot so far. Adds the 2. And Saracens have a lifeline right before half-time, 24-7. Good early attack this from the champions. Penalty to them as well. Oh, Poppy Cleal has taken it quickly. Cleal. Rocky Clark goes in. Oh, and someone's dived over. It may well be Rocky Clark. They've grabbed another one back. No trouble at all for Lisa Martin. We have a game on our hands. Lily Scott's been striking it so well all afternoon. Does the same there, 27-14. Saracens again, using all that power they have. Marley Packer picks up and drives. Marley Packer gets her second to bring this within one score. Lisa Martin's got it. Saracens come again. Round the side again from Saracens. Oh, they've scored! Saracens have got it. They're within 1 point. What a comeback from the champions. Lisa Martin to take the lead. It's brilliant from the Scotland International. Unbelievable comeback here. And they're still coming, Saracens. Mackenzie Carson, the hooker. Mackenzie Carson, what a run from her. Oh, and she's still going. Gives it to Lottie Clapp, who's strong in the tackle as well. Back to Carson. Marley Packer is there. Oh, it's brilliant. Sensational score for Saracens for Marley Packer's hat-trick. This is it then, the game. Harlequins, that close. 6 points down. Chloe Edwards is there. She goes. It's held up though. Held up, confirms the referee. And that surely is it. The final whistle goes. One of the all-time great comebacks. What character for the champions.
Sarah, first of all, condolences, but that was one of the most incredible rugby matches we've definitely featured on the show. What was it like out there?
Yeah, it was absolutely savage. First 35 minutes we were on it, we came out the blocks and we got a perfect start really, scored the bonus point try and we got out there and I don't think we could have asked for more from ourselves, and then if you've watched the game you see we just let ourselves down, just discipline. We let them in at the end of the second half and then it carried on into the second half. We talked about it at half time, but clearly you can talk about it and doing it's another thing, and we didn't quite get across the line today with getting our discipline sorted and making the changes that we need to, but I think that's something that we can sort. I'd be more concerned if it was something that we couldn't sort and we were just beaten by a better side, but I think if we play the way we play for the first 35 minutes for a full 80 or even a 70, we're good enough to get across the line, but we just let ourselves down today.
It must be a big blow from a confidence perspective. You've been undefeated, the O has now gone. Yeah. Does that affect the rest of your season, or can you just put this to one side and say, okay, we'll just focus on the rest of the league?
I don't think you can let it affect you. I think you have to pick yourselves up. Obviously we've got a game against Worcester next week which will be competitive, and we've got to just set our minds on that now. We'll take our learnings from this and you've got to look at it and review and see where you went wrong, but you can't let it affect you. Your confidence is something going into a game that needs to be high, because if you're thinking, oh, we might not win this, you're already defeated. Like, you can't go into a game and say, oh well, we might win. You've got to go in with the attitude, we're going to win, of course we are. So I don't think it can affect our confidence. I think we'll pick ourselves back up and get ready for the game next weekend.
And how do you pick yourselves back up from that?
I think we've got a strong group of people at Quins. Like, we know what it feels like to be beaten. I did it a lot for the last 2 seasons, and like, that's one of my biggest learnings and one of the things I'm most grateful for from Waterloo. I've been able to develop the mentality that actually losing isn't the be all and end all, and you just got to pick yourself up and review, see where you went wrong, and you just got to say, do you know what, that wasn't good enough, I'm going to work on that this week and just go again. Like, you can't let it get to you.
Fair enough. From personal level, you were outstanding today. You've kind of moved forward a bit. You obviously from the back row to second row.
Yeah.
Where do you prefer to play?
Oh, I think the back row. I think it was just a tactical decision today. I think hopefully I'll be playing in the back row. But to be honest, I do what the team needs me to do. If that's what the coaches feel like is the best, I'll do it, and I'll do it to the best of my ability. No matter whether I'm playing second row, 8, 6, I'll play wherever. Just let me play.
Fine, brilliant. Well, listen, really sorry about today. Good luck for next week, and have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
Cheers, you too. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Cheers.
All right, hi. We're joined with Emily Scott here. Hi, Emily. How are you feeling?
Disappointed, a bit battered, a bit bruised, and just really disappointed with how we ended the game.
Yeah. I mean, I can feel the frustration from the sidelines. The way it started, 22 on the board at 22 minutes, 24 on the board at 24 minutes. Why do you think it didn't go your way in the end?
We were just ill-disciplined. Second half, we gave away too many penalties. We were right down here, beginning of the second half, and then we gave away 5 penalties in a row, and they scored in the corner. So it's always going to be difficult if you're giving away penalties like that. Our defence wasn't good enough. There's a lot of things to work on.
Yeah. What would you say it is about the defence that needs work, or is it a bit, I don't know, not what you need it to be right now?
I think it just got a bit maybe fatigue. A couple of missed tackles, and they're right through the heart of us, and then we're scrambling to get back, and then they're on the front foot with momentum. It's always going to be difficult then to get the ball back and to get the momentum back from that. So it was certainly, we had our opportunity at the end. We could be having a different conversation if that hadn't been held up over the line. So we know we're there and thereabouts, but we just need to be able to close out the game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what's next for you guys? What's next on the table? Where are you going from here?
Well, we've got another big game this weekend. We need to dust ourselves down. It's not the end of the year yet. One more game to go, so we'll go away, we'll analyse the game, and then we'll move on at the end of the day, because we've got big training sessions on Tuesday and Thursday, and we need to put some rights after some wrongs today.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I won't keep you too long. Onwards and upwards. Good luck to the Quins for the rest of the game.
Cheers, thank you.
Miley Packer, congratulations. What a game. How did it feel to be out there?
Just amazing in the second half. First half, thinking, what the hell's going on here, really? I think absolutely amazing team performance from Saracens today. Like, we went in at half time, and there was a few strong words said by our coach, but we knew what we had to do. We finished the first half, the last 5 minutes, how we normally play, and we knew we had to go out there and do that again in the second half, and that's what we did. And it just shows the determination between the squad and the willingness to put their bodies on the line and get the result that we got today is fantastic.
It was a bit like the final over back in spring, except reversed. Why did you come out of the trap so slowly?
I'm not too sure, really. I think that'd be something that we go back and look at. Like, this season that's actually been what we've been like, and I think we've been real hard trying to change that. But I think today is a wake-up call for us to actually. That's something that we've got to make sure doesn't happen again. Because come next time we play them at Allianz Park next season, but come when we play Richmond next weekend, we need to make sure that when that first whistle goes, that we're on it, and that's what we need to do with Saracens, and we need to carry that forward into the new year and make sure we do it every game we play in.
You've got a lot of new young players in the squad this season. Do you think maybe that's contributed to a bit of a stop-start first half of the season?
No, I think we're gelling really well as a squad. I think we've got really high standards, and we're really hard on ourselves. And when things don't go to right, sometimes we do turn in and we tell each other it's not good enough, when actually we should be turning and going, that's really good, let's make sure we execute it next time. And I just think that going forward, that we'll look at this game, we'll work on it, but we've got the result that we needed today, and going into the new year, we make sure we keep doing that.
You talk about talking to other players, you are the expert at geeing your team up. I mean, we're up in the press area and we can hear you where we are. Is it something that you thrive under, being that leader of the team, being someone who, gets everyone around you, excited and up for it, whether you're scoring tries or not?
I don't look at it like that for myself. Like, for me, it's like, I want to be at my best, and I know me being at my best, being loud, whether that's in a defence, in attack, whether we're going to push over in the scrum, whatever it is. If I'm loud and communicating that to the rest of the squad, I'm going to do that. They're going to want to do that for me. And I think that when we talked about it at half time, that I stood up and said, I'm in this, let's go get it. And loads of players around me stood up and said exactly the same thing. So I think for me, it's just like, let's be loud, let's be physical, let's put the pressure all on them. And if we're louder than them, then that puts pressure straight away on them.
One of your tries, which was absolutely unbelievable, from Mackenzie Carson running through, getting the ball to Lottie Clapp, and then you scoring. Is that one of the best tries you ever scored?
Oh, I don't know. I need to watch it back. To me, it was just like Mackenzie had another fantastic game for us. She line breaks all over the park, so you make sure you want to get off of her. But it was just a great team try. Like, at the end of the day, the try started over there with the forwards setting the platform for us to play off and launch off of, and then we get it down opposite side of the pitch, a few offloads, and I'm over the line. And yeah, it was great today. But I don't know, I have to go back and look at it. I can't picture it in my head.
How good does it feel to ensure that Quins have faced their first loss this season, and that if things go well next week, that you'll be top of the league by the end of the year?
Yeah, I think that's our target, that we always want to be striving to be the best, so we want to be at the top of the table, but at the end of the day we take each game as it comes, and today was about Harlequins and making sure we got the win here. Like, at the end of the day, we can't write Richmond off next week. We need to go there and perform again. We've got to put performance on performance, and then we'll take that into the new year, but who knows what can happen next week, so we've got to make sure there's no upsets.
Absolutely. Well, look, from shouting as loud as you can to scoring tries, you are the Women's Rugby Show and Rugby RFC Player of the Match today.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Do I get to keep this one this time?
You can keep that. Also, perhaps we can maybe we'll put a link below as well. You can choose any item of clothing from their range.
Okay,
so
lovely.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Cheers.
a lot.
Thank you. Cheers.
What a game. That was unreal, so electric. I think they've blown the lights here. They've kicked us out. Unbelievable. What a show to make your debut.
I know, it was wild. Start to finish action, complete 180.
What did you think of the game?
Yeah, I mean, non-stop action is always great, but I think any game with quick decision making, obvious teamwork and strategic play is just a great game to watch.
Absolutely, and of course a team coming from behind to win in the dying moments is always a winner. And it's what we said about Sarries. It's just what they do. They've got that winning mentality to come from behind, especially against Quins, and really for them it's just a chance hopefully for them to build and build and build week on week. For Quins, they're going to have to get back on the horse very, very quickly. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching. This is the end of this episode. Before you go anywhere, please make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the Women's Rugby Show on YouTube, follow us across social media, and tell everyone that you know about the Women's Rugby Show. Hopefully there'll be more games like this, so they won't be disappointed, you won't be disappointed, and we'll be seeing more top quality women's rugby.
Yes, and don't forget to check out the bespoke women's rugby clothing range, Rugby RFC. You've seen the Women's Rugby Show team wearing their gear over the past few weeks, and you're probably starting to see some teammates wearing the gear at the gym and training as well. That's because it's amazing. It's for all positions and all sizes. Even Adam's wearing one.
I've got my hands on one. I'm so excited. I've been so jealous the last few weeks. Yes, I finally have my hands on Rugby RFC gear.
And don't worry, we've got you back. We'll put the links to their site and social below.
So folks, thank you very much for watching. As we said, we are going to give you an opportunity to watch another episode of the Women's Rugby Show. We'll put one of the cards here, and of course another link to subscribe, just so you can give that a little bit of a click. Folks, that's it from me.
And that's it from me as well.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
No, seriously, why did you say about Dr. Evil before? What made you think about that?
I really don't know. It just came into my head for some weird reason.